Good morning guys. Well, I'm back and I feel like I've got a little bit of explaining to do. I've missed you guys. I'm posting here more than anything. As you know, I literally love YouTube. It's by far my favorite social media platform. So not being able to post consistently is just not where I want to be. But I've had an incredibly busy end to the summer, start to the autumn in such an amazing way. Actually, the other day I have basically saved my injury journey to a story highlight and I've never looked through it. I had a few people go through and like some of the stories in that story highlight, which brought my attention to it again, and I went through and read that story highlight. But I've really openly spoken about how I was feeling, where I want to get back to, what I kind of want to do, I guess, like sort of business wise, like within the fitness industry, just generally on social media and with my business stuff. At the point that I wrote that, I genuinely felt like I'm never going to go back to where I want to be. And I'm super happy to say that I'm fully back there, which I can't even believe that I'm saying that to you guys, but I just feel like I'm in such a good place with everything. My online coaching business is growing at a rapid rate. That's something that I'd written specifically on those stories as well. My one-to-one online coaching is like where my passions lie in terms of the fitness industry. I literally love working one-to-one with women, and it's just crazy. Like the growth over the last few months has been crazy, which is actually one of the reasons why I haven't been able to be as consistent on YouTube, because naturally that has been taking up a lot more of my time. I've had a lot of things that I've needed to kind of rejiggle, put in place. I have had to create like new routines around working, but I pretty much realized one thing was going to have to be sort of sacrificed, I guess, for the time being, and that, sadly enough, ended up being YouTube. Now, I don't know if you've heard people speak about this before, but YouTube videos take a long time to make. Like filming them is really time consuming, although I get a hell of a lot of enjoyment from it. And editing them, uploading them is so time consuming. Like YouTubers, honestly, massive respect for people that are consistently posting all the time, because it is hard. And I feel like it doesn't look like it would be, because you just see a video and you're like, oh, they just like film their life. Just the reality is I have a very, very small channel. So for me, it's just not probably like the most productive bit of my business. But sorry, my camera battery just ran out, which is weird because it went from full battery to zero battery very quickly, which might mean it's time for some new camera batteries. But having said that, I would love to have a big channel one day, and the only way to do that is to keep up the consistency with it. I feel like I've got honestly a ton of things to catch you up on, but I'm not going to sit down and waffle for ages. I want to share with you like new hobbies I've got, new routines, where I'm at with businessy things, like little things that are going on, house renovation stuff. I'm gonna try and like feed it in throughout this video and the next video. But I hope that you have all been well. Thank you so much for bearing with me. And honestly, when I get messages from you guys being like, where have you been on YouTube? We miss your YouTube videos. I'm like, oh my God, I literally love it so much. So I really appreciate everyone who has kind of asked when I'm going to be back, because at the end of the day, that's sort of my motivation for coming back on here. Elliot and I are actually off to the driving range this morning. It's a whole other part of the story for you, which I'll probably catch you up on in the car or something. Fully intended to explain to you when we were at the driving range the situation with golf. By the way, I'm absolutely freezing. We just got back and had a really fun little morning. Also had brunch at the driving range. It was this place that's about half an hour from our house, and it's like a bougie driving range is what I'd say. Pretty much. Elliot used to play golf when he was younger, hasn't played for years, has taken it up again recently. and I got back from France, which is another thing I've done since I last vlogged. I went on a little trip with my home friends. It's actually the same trip that I went on, I've been on the same trip for like 5 years or something, but it's with some of my school friends, like a mixed group, and it's super fun. Got back from that trip and Elliot had bought me a set of golf clubs so that I would take up golf with him, which is the most Elliot thing ever. Nice and impulsive, but luckily I just generally really like playing sports, so I have really been enjoying, well, I say really been enjoying going to the driving range with him. We've been twice, but he's gone like 0 to 100 with it and has been playing lots. And I just want to get to a point where I can actually go and play a round of golf. But the only thing about starting at this time of year is just bloody freezing. This is actually the first time I think that I've got this puff coat out this year, because it's just not been particularly cold. And then this week it's just hit us so hard, and we realized on Monday when the temperature just suddenly dropped that our heating isn't working. It is upstairs, not downstairs, so it's just especially cold downstairs in our house. So I'm finding the contrast between this vlog and the last vlog so funny weather-wise. Like, it has literally just switched into full-on like horrible winter mode, and I'm sure you probably see every UK person on social media saying this, but it's funny how you like forget quite how bad the weather gets here, and it's just miserable, so miserable. I am having a matcha. Do you know something that I've discovered since I last vlogged is that the quality of matcha makes such a difference. Like, I was using one which I actually thought was fine. Well, it still tasted nice, from Amazon, that I could just buy in a big pack. And I got sent this one from Matcha & Co. It's 100% organic matcha. What says matcha premium? Premium matcha. And the difference in taste between this and the other one is like, I would just never thought that upping the quality or like the price of the matcha basically that you are having would make such a difference to the flavour, but it genuinely does. I actually don't drink matcha as often as I wish I did. For some reason I just always end up reaching for coffee. Just dying at me still my puffer coat. I've been working my puffer coat for the last few hours in my bedroom because it is so cold in this house. Having stone floors is great until your heating doesn't work, and we actually really thankfully have underfloor heating. God, is this a big matcha? I feel like this, because this cup is really quite big, it's making it look a lot smaller than it is. So I actually need to go to post some packages at Every, just because Elliot and I have been doing a hell of a lot of clearing out of clothes. I know I've done this a couple of times this year, but I really feel like since I've come back from Amsterdam, my attitude towards like the amount of things I need is just so different. I've got rid of so many of my clothes, and Elliot has ended up doing the same, which is really nice, but I've literally got 3 bags of stuff that are all on Vinted. I feel like Vinted is a little bit more user-friendly and just seems to be like the more popular platform at the moment. So if you do want to have a look at my Vinted, I will leave it linked down below. But need to go and send some packages, and then you guys will be really excited to know that we are back on with the home renovation stuff. Like full swing, full swing. I got these samples from Coat, the paint company, that arrived yesterday. I mean, they literally look like the most like neutrally colour samples ever. This one at the front actually is the one that I think that I'm going to be using. I have come up with like a full scheme for my wardrobe study room. Now, you know, I've literally had plans to work on this room for so long. I'm actually going to show you the mood board for everything later and go through the plans a little bit, because hopefully you guys will be able to get excited about it with me as well. But I am just so buzzing to have a gorgeous study room. It's literally like my little creative sanctuary. I work in there more and more now, and recently I've actually just worked with IKEA on a campaign. In fact, that was probably in the background earlier when I was filming and I completely forgot to address it, but I've changed a few little bits in that room already. But that's kind of started the process for me. So that's almost like part 1 of the transformation. And yeah, that will definitely be shared on my Instagram really soon. So stay tuned for that. But it's inspired me to get on with a little scheme for everything else. Anyway, That was the biggest waffle ever, and I said to myself before I started filming today that I wasn't going to waffle. I'm gonna head off to Dunelm because it's honestly one of the only interior shops that's really close to me. I have actually spied a few little bits on their website, including some potential chest drawers for our spare room. So we're gonna go and have a little wander and see if we can pick up anything that's gonna add to the house. I would genuinely say this could transform anyone's like mindset towards matcha. I just had a bit of an uneventful trip to Dunelm. Do you know what really frustrates me? It's when you see things online and they just don't have them in the shop. And there is a way of checking, but it's like all their new bits, they've got some really cute new things I wanted to see and they just don't have any of them in this shop. But I've come away with 2 boring things, some batteries and a doormat, but we really needed a new doormat for the outside of our house, especially in time for this weekend because my dad is actually coming down with my 2 dogs, Nala and Luna, my family dogs, which means that muddy walks and our house, which doesn't have like a hallway area or anywhere where we can like clean them off easily before they just step on our white rug and our light sofa. So I thought a doormat would at least help to clear some of the muddy paws. And then I took a little clip to show you these bedside tables, which I actually thought were so cute, the little green ones for our spare room. I sent them to Elliot because I think they're really perfect size as well, because that room, there's just like not too much space either side of the bed. I actually love the colour, and he said he really loves the colour as well. It's just in our house, I've no idea why, because I wouldn't be like this when I'm giving advice to someone else, but I really struggle to know what to do with colour. Like, I find it really scary in our home. And I think one of the reasons is because when we moved in, everything was super like beige and white and cream, and so easy to just go for those similar tones. But I'm not someone who likes everything to be completely neutral. So although we're not going to go for any bright colours, I actually think that colour is just so lovely as a bedside table for that room. But the only thing is, it's probably quite difficult to match like cushions too. So I'm gonna discuss when I get back, and we can always come back for them. One of the things that I really wanted to look at were some mirrors, because online they had quite a few, which look really good. We are desperately in need of a mirror for our downstairs toilet, which still doesn't have a mirror, and also our upstairs like main bathroom, like especially because it's the one that Gus uses. And we still don't have a mirror in there, which is a little bit strange for a bathroom. Do you know what though? It's just making me so excited to start doing these little like interior outings with you. And I'm thinking tomorrow, if I have the time, like at lunchtime or something, I might go into the centre of the town where we live, and there's a big like, is it TK Maxx or Home Sense? I think it's a big Home Sense. God, I haven't been for so long, I can't even remember. Yeah, big Home Sense there. But I could definitely do with doing a little trip and seeing if there's anything else. Good morning, guys. So it's a few days later. I'm actually off to the gym this morning. I'm gonna train back and biceps. Had the goal of doing legs today because I know I'm gonna have basically 2 days now where I can't train, but I went on a run yesterday and just above my knee is feeling a little tender, shall we say. So I'm thinking the sensible thing, and what my physio would tell me to do, is just to take today off. Anything kind of like mega strenuous, just while I recover. But I wanted to show you this little gym fit, because this is actually both the sports bra and the leggings. Well, Elliot said the sports bra looks more like a bikini top, which I definitely agree with. They are actually both from Gymshark, which is a brand that I pretty much never wear anymore. I just don't really have any pieces from them. But they sent me these 2 little bits. So we've got this sports bra, which I love. I've seen it a few times on some smaller boobed girls, and I would say I'm like a medium boobed girl. And it's, you know, I think it's gorgeous, maybe slightly out my comfort zone for the gym, but I'm gonna wear a hoodie over it. Just, you know, I can take it off if I'm feeling confident. I really nearly wore it with shorts, and I was like, wow, these are 2 pieces that are just very out my comfort zone. But I put it on with these leggings, which I think are some kind of legacy type, a legging from that kind of range from Gymshark. But I actually quite like the sort of really subtle contour. Well, it's not even really contouring, it's just kind of like where the stitching is. But I feel like it sort of shapes the bum a little bit. But yeah, really cute. And they sent basically this set to me in another colour as well, which I wore the other day. I just thought I'd show you this before I head off to the gym. I'm actually quite excited to be vlogging again today because over the weekend we have had a few like good progressions. Let me see if I can put you down here. But yeah, over the weekend I feel like we have progressed with some house decisions. Finally. What I decided to do was basically go to a shop and just get all the things that I saw that I liked, with the kind of mindset as to like, we can obviously just take it back if it doesn't work. It's not like anything is permanent. I just struggle so much with making interior decisions for my own home. It's like just so much scarier when it's your own money that you're parting with. So I came back with a few mirrors and bedside tables, a big thing to update you on, a few other little bits. And most of them actually just look great in the space, and I'm grateful that I just went for it and made a few purchases. I'm mega excited to be back on YouTube sharing interior bits again, because there are just so many little progressions that are about to happen. Anyway, I am gonna go and try and hit a good pull, which is back and bicep focused day. And I think some abs as well. A little bit of walking on the treadmill probably. To be honest, it's actually a really nice day today, so I might save the walking for when I'm back home and do it in the sunshine. And then when I'm back, we can go through some interior bits. I've just finished up what was not the best gym session, I'm not gonna lie. My body is generally feeling a little fatigued at the moment. Like, more so just when it comes to lifting weights, I don't feel like I'm progressing in the way that I should. And I've spoken through it with Elliot, and the bottom line is I probably need to look into my nutrition a bit more and just make sure I'm definitely eating enough for the amount of activity that I'm doing. Because I generally feel like I'm eating kind of quite a lot of food, to be honest, during the day. I eat intuitively, so I don't like track my food or anything, so I don't have like a full gauge. But because I have also started playing squash again, not that I'm even playing that often, to be honest, but with the odd bit of squash and odd bit of paddle throughout the week, I guess I'm naturally just adding more activity in. So to be honest, I just want to check that I'm not under fueling my body, because there are definitely things like my pull-ups, which I'm sure I've probably spoken about it on here before, but it's been like a big goal of mine since I've come back from injury to be able to do those again. I can't even remember the last time that I vlogged and like whether I could do pull-ups at that point. But in the last couple of months, I've managed to work up to doing 2 unassisted pull-ups, but I don't seem to be able to progress further than that at the moment. Like, I haven't hit 3 pull-ups, which is really frustrating. And every week I'm like, oh, it's going to be the week that I managed to do it, and I just don't quite get it. So I just need to make sure that I'm fueling correctly for that. So I've got enough energy and I'm recovering well. I'm also putting it down to where I'm at in my cycle, because I definitely have weeks or like days in a month where I just don't feel like as on my A game. That's completely okay. But I just stopped after like 20 minutes of weights, did some sets of pull-ups and did 2 supersets, and just walked on a treadmill because I wanted to get something done. But anyway, on that note with refueling, let's get us home and make a big bowl of goodness. And here is my kind of second lunch. So we've got a really random bowl of salmon, hummus, tomato, lettuce, crispy chickpeas, sugar snap peas, kimchi, cottage cheese for some extra protein. Is there anything else in there? Chili oil, and then this is dressing just in the leftover tahini jar, which I'm gonna pour over. But this is actually a classic example of when I wish that I had meal prepped on Sunday, which I didn't do, because I don't have any like pre-roasted potato or sweet potato or rice or anything to add in, which I usually would. So good job I had that pasta to eat beforehand. But this is a really good example because I'm really hungry. There's no way I was gonna wait like half an hour for those kind of things to cook. But we still have a good bowl of goodness. Good morning, guys, and happy Monday. Well, I'm just getting a few morning steps in this morning. Do you know what's so unlike me? I had the urge to put on like a little jumper,
I've got jeans on, like cute trainers on today for absolutely no reason. And if you know me, you know I'm like through and through a tracksuit bottoms, sweatshirt in the house kind of person. Like you'd never well, not that I'm gonna stay in the jeans when I get in the house, but you would literally never find me wearing this unless I actually had somewhere to go. But I've actually just walked to the post office this morning, and on the way back I had a call with a potential coaching client, which was really nice actually. I don't find that I often have phone calls with people that I'm coaching, just because, you know, like everything, I feel like you do most things just like through chats online and stuff. She really wanted to call to talk through some issues that she's having with her knee and see if I can help with that. So obviously super happy to help her because it's something that I've been through as well, and I know how hard it can be. But just thought I would check in this morning. It's actually like the most beautiful day ever, and it's funny because we got hardly any sleep last night because the rain was absolutely crazy, and our house, the people that we bought the house off did some lovely you know, going up into the roof area and things in our house, but it means that we've got quite a lot of Velux windows, which if you have them in your house, you know how noisy they are when it's raining. Oh my God, I've just seen the cutest little sheep in this field. Funny story, the village that I live in, there used to be pigs in this field that now has these really cute sheep in, and they all escaped. And the other side of the road, I'll show you in a second. God, how idyllic. The other side of the road is this absolutely beautiful allotment. Like these patches are so well kept. God, I feel like it's really getting grey on this side and it's sunny everywhere else. The pigs all escaped into here and just caused havoc, and the whole village was just up in arms, which is just one of the things I find quite funny about living in a village. People walk past me when I'm vlogging. God, I find it so embarrassing, like way more embarrassing than I'd find it if I was like in a city or something. So I'm like, God, these people are definitely going to see me again probably tomorrow. Anyway, I'm going to head home. Do you know what? Considering, I'm going to show you this outfit in a second, but considering it's nearly November, it's really quite warm today, I think because the sun's out, and I really layered up and I'm kind of boiling hot. I haven't had breakfast yet, so I'm going to go back and grab my breakfast, which I prepared last night. I did such a good Sunday meal prep last night. I was so proud of myself because I couldn't have been less in the mood to do it. So I realised that I've got a couple of bits down here which I said that I was going to show you, and I haven't yet. One of which is this new throw, which was a HomeSense purchase. I've annoyingly used it at the weekend and I've just like not put it back quite the way I wanted it, but it's this really cool like olive green check. Trying to add a bit of extra olive green into the space. Oh, and then this cushion as well, actually. I found this cushion at Dunelm. It was just super cheap, but I thought color-wise, very in keeping with everything else. But yeah, the throw, I'm honestly obsessed with. I really, really love it. Do you know what's annoying? And I don't know if it's gonna be like this when I edit it, but I remember when I started showing you home stuff, everything looked really gray in this room, but nothing's actually gray. It's all like beige. I'm wondering if it is going to look a bit different when I actually go back to edit it. But our sofa's not grey either, but I feel like the camera makes it look really like cool toned. So yeah, we have got a little bit more green in places. I think I'm actually going to be adding a cushion with a little bit of a blue tone onto this sofa as well, just because the stripe in this is like this blue grey tone. And then also the painting that we've got over here has got a bit of blue in. So I just wanted to also add that so it's not too, you know, I just feel like it's good to add a few different kind of colours into a room. One of the other things that I have bought recently, and we actually used the fire for the first time this year the other day, hence the little stock of wood we've got going on there. But this little fire set, I picked this up for £12 from an antique shop quite near to us. We've got the most gorgeous antique shop, and I literally grew up going to antique shops with my dad. Something he's definitely passed on to me, and this little set just goes perfectly in this space, and it's also super useful. But I thought £12 for that was just an absolute bargain. It's got a little brush, a little shovel, and a kind of, what would you call that, a prodding stick. But the other day we had the fire on and it just looked so lovely, so I'm definitely going to vlog and show you that. Maybe we'll actually put it on tonight. And then my little autumnal pumpkin bits, which you'll probably remember from last year, and we've got some little whiffy candles dotted about. I mean, that honey tobacco one is not quite meant to be there, but I thought the gingerbread one was in fitting with the kind of Halloween-y theme. And also I've
been burning the gingerbread one recently, and it's absolutely gorgeous for this time of year. These are, by the way, these are still discounted on the website. They won't stay discounted for very long because obviously they're coming back into Christmassy holiday season again. But I just thought I would mention that. I'll link it in the description box. But yeah, how cute are my little Amazon pumpkins. I'm hoping that we are gonna get some more trick-or-treaters this year, but that's just reminded me I need to go out and get some sweets so we are prepared if they come to the house. We've actually got quite a few kids on this road, so last year we had loads of like really cute little kids in their outfits, which I just love. In general, I feel like I just love a reason to kind of like celebrate a little bit. You know, whether it's Halloween or Christmas or whatever. Made my oats last night, didn't I? Very, very chuffed with myself. It's not the most organized meal prep fridge for this week because we got a food shop this morning and Elliot just cannot follow my fridge structure when he unpacks a food shop. So we've just got stuff everywhere, whereas I'm like, veggies there, you know, protein sources there, meal prep there, dairy bits there, but he just literally piles it in however he fancies it. So hence the not organized fridge today, but that will get organized later in the day. But here are some of the bits of meal prep that I've made. So I did some salmon, some chicken, roasted chickpeas, sweet potato. What is that? Oh, pre-marinated chicken that we're gonna use tonight because it was about to go off. So I thought that will save us some time because I've got a squash match later. Some sweet potato, more sweet potato, but those are like wedges and a different seasoning to that. Some like miso aubergine, which will be delicious. So the next thing is that in this chaotic room, we have finally got wallpaper decided. I'm really happy about this. I don't know what you guys are gonna think because I've had mixed opinions on it. I feel like a lot of people my age have been like, oh my God, I love that wallpaper choice. And then I've had people that are not sure about it, basically like more like my parents' generation. But I think it's super fun. And I'm actually gonna flip the camera around and show you this way just because I've laid it out. The thing that I need help with though is choosing the paint color for my wardrobes. You know by now, if you've watched my videos for a while, I've painted these twice. I still hate the color. I keep painting them and then it coming out way too blue. So what I've realized is that I actually want a really muted color, and we're bringing a bit of color in the wallpaper. So we're going fun vibes. So this is what I've chosen for the wallpaper. It's a beautiful paper by Sandberg and it was very kindly been gifted to me. They've sent me some rolls of it and I think it's going to look absolutely gorgeous on my walls. I don't know how clearly you can see the colour. I've tried to put it close to the window, but it's this sort of like, what would you say? Like a muted kind of red coral sort of tone with these waves and tiny little flowers. I just think it's gonna be fun. I want this room to be creative and yeah, these are the colours that I'm going between for the wardrobes in my room. Now, when I got these samples, I was dead set on this kind of like blue-grey tone because there's an inspo picture on their website where they put this wallpaper with a cabinet that's in a blue colour and I thought it looked really gorgeous. Now, the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm thinking I'm not sure about this colour. I think I've tried to do these wardrobes blue too many times and I haven't been that happy with it. Now, the light's not amazing in here at this time of the day. It's more afternoon light, but that kind of shows you the colour difference. So it's a lot more muted, but it's still darker than I might want these wardrobes to be. And these two are actually much more like green toned, but I really love this. I actually think this potentially is my favourite at the moment. And that is actually quite a different tone, which I'm possibly leaning towards just because I've gone blue a few too many times maybe to be happy with having blue again. But yeah, this is my wallpaper choice. I hope you guys like it. But I feel like it's kind of a trust the process situation because yeah, I think it's gonna look great when it's actually installed. Just made a bit of a panic phone call to my mum, who is an interior designer and always just makes the best decisions. And we have decided to go with Rathbone Place by Coat. So that is a decision made. So hopefully that colour will be on its way soon. The light is so bad in this room, it's actually really difficult to show you what it's gonna look like. But yeah, that's gonna be
on these. Oh, I hate the blue colour at the moment. It's going to be on these wardrobe doors. I'm actually going to wrap up this video, but just wanted to show you that I've caved in and I'm now a Stanley Cup person. I actually stole one of my friend Megan's because she's been working with them, so it had a load of spares. So I stole this from her house and I can say I'm absolutely converted. I just think it's amazing. There's something about being clumsy like I am and having a handle on your water bottle, because you'd be surprised how many times I drop my water bottle. So that is just amazing. 1.8 litres or something? 1.18 litres of water, stays cold all day, and yeah, genuinely think they're worth the money. But yeah, just wanted to wrap this video up here, and I'm gonna have lots of other home updates to share with you. We are fully back in like the renovation zone for this house. I'm super excited to be making some changes, and also obviously just really happy to be back on YouTube because, as you know, this is my favourite place to be. It's just the hardest one to keep up with. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe if you want to stick around for some more exciting house fitnessy videos, and I'll see you in my next one.